are you? What do you do? And what do you need?
Yeah, we're Cartograph, and we help plan, predict, and forecast product delivery timelines.
Awesome.
And what do you need?
Yeah, what do you need?
What do we need?
Customers.
We need customers.
Yeah. More money?
Yeah, we need customers. Yeah, we've been on a great path so far. John and Tyler have been super supportive. We specifically help software companies better plan their product delivery, and this is super important because everything in the business relies on product delivery, from sales to financials to
How about
marketing.
your names, guys?
Right. So yeah. My name is Bentley Wilson. I'm the CEO. This is Spencer Jack.
Spencer, I'm the CRO here.
Yeah.
We co-founded Cartograph together about 3.5 years ago now.
Yeah.
So, what was your experience like with Startup Ignition? And you can be honest here. I mean, you don't need to pretend they're not here or anything. Did you have a different approach to thinking about what you're already doing?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So I met John a number of years ago now. It feels like I was about 20 years younger, but I was, in startup years I was about 20 years younger. But yeah, I have a technical background. I had started to build products and thought, I can build this and then, I'll build it and then customers will show up. And I met John and Tyler, and Tyler had recently or maybe within a year had sold his company following these principles that they teach. And so it did completely change things for me as far as, really the market discovery of it, and let the market teach you instead of having to try to convince the market that they need something they may not. And then, I met Spencer, and then as part of our partnership, Spencer went through Startup Ignition as well, and it's been a game changer for us. We still have made some mistakes and had to learn tough lessons, but I'm convinced that, there's a high chance we wouldn't even exist anymore without the lessons we've learned from Startup Ignition. So, it's been a huge partnership for us, and we've been grateful for them.
Spencer, anything to add?
Yeah. So like Bentley said, I took Startup Ignition a little bit later, about 2 years later or so, after we met. So Bentley and I, we partnered together, and my background is in sales and marketing, especially in the e-commerce side. And so I was able to take Startup Ignition and really, start to get my feet into helping build a scalable, business with all this, upside to it, and all the upside that comes with tech, and being able to build out Bentley has been awesome.
I'm going to throw a wrench in this because I can. Spencer Lovelace, come on up here. Spencer Lovelace with Merit 3D, who's kind of redefining how manufacturing is done. You do product, primarily SaaS and that type of
Right.
thing.
Right.
So if you have someone that is disrupting a very old industry of injection molding,
Yeah.
and how you do the molds and then you go forward with it, is there a time in the future that what you do could migrate to the industry that he is? Do you want to share what you do?
Yeah, I'd love to.
So we help companies. I mean, we love startup companies because injection molding is very costly. Many times it has to be done in China. So we do mass production with 3D printers. So we help companies produce tens of thousands of parts very quickly with design agility, with not having to cut steel, with not having to go to China, and scale very quickly without the upfront cost. So it's fun to see that, as a small business, many times we've invested in molds, and then you end up changing your design. The customer says, well, it'd be better if you could do this, and you're like, the still's cut, like, we're done, like, live with it.
Yeah.
And so
Their big iteration difference there? It's just
That's a great question. I think with John and Tyler in the room and the lean startup, thought process, I have to answer no, because we're not going to do everything under the sun. But that said, at scale, at a certain point, we've had so many people come to us and say, these principles can be applied to so many industries outside of just SaaS, right? And really, sometimes the way I explain it is we take financial forecasting and modeling, or at least similar concepts, and we apply them to SaaS, right? And so it's not far off that we could help with that kind of thing, but for now we're really focused on software.
kind of the methodology that you practice, John, is lean startup, but you do it with your own twist, and you have kind of like what Paul Ahlstrom's done with an skillet. You have a model that you replicate, it works, and it goes forward. So I'm out of frame, but that's okay. I'm ugly and fat. The thing that I think about when we have conversations like this is Moleculera, General Genomics, and Curo 46. These are Oklahoma-based companies that are diverse and they're all over the place, but they've taken one solution and created another. These are guys from GE that used machine learning to be able to find out when there was failure of turbines and that type of thing. They realized that the algorithms could be put into the same type of utilization for analyzing tissue samples because the parallel in the process worked well for that. And so there's where your lean startup gets to the point of viability where you can think about not having to worry about recycling your product and your content and that type of thing. So the pens that you have in your hand were the first 3D printed new CE product.
Yeah, it's the first. We put a big post out there on social. And we're like, if anyone can show us a pen, just a simple pen that's made in the U.S., we'll give you $100. And we had 2 people respond, and their pens were just like old and ancient, and we're like, how old is your pen? Like 20, 30 years. We're like, this is awesome. Like, bring manufacturing back.
Awesome.
We love it.
We agree on that.
Can I bring up a point?
Yeah, let me share something about the lean startup process and what we do at Startup Ignition and Startup Ignition Ventures. A big issue with software companies like Cartograph, with 2 business-orientated founders, but even some tech chops in the founder Bentley, is at some point you're going to need a real chief technical officer, somebody who really has the chops to build a scalable system and make it work and put it all together. And it's interesting. One thing that we've gotten good at, and what this company is the poster child of, is actually helping to solve that tech issue for startups. So one of the things we're proud of in this relationship here is that these 2 co-founders have now found what we call a quasi-tech co-founder that can truly take them to the next level. And that's making all the difference in the world, and it's super exciting to see that happen. One of the greatest satisfactions Tyler and I have working with companies like this is that they have issues and problems and obstacles to overcome at this early stage, and once those obstacles are overcome, they can see a big inflection point happen, and that's what's exciting. Everybody needs to pay attention to Cartograph. I think Cartograph in the next few years will be one of the hottest B2B SaaS companies in Utah, and will be maybe one of the big name sponsors of the summit. We'll see how that goes, right? Yeah. And so, so we're all excited about that. So I love that you're drawing these parallels and what they can do and build off of it. So right now, they're building the foundation, the trunk of the tree. At some point, they'll be adding new products and product lines and expanding out, creating branches off of that. But one of the analogies we use a lot at the early stages is they got to focus on that trunk and make the roots stable, right? Yeah. So,
yes, that's coming from me.
yeah.
But you have to have those.
Yeah.
Can I twist the knot here a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys to step off, and I'd like to have John Mott join us.
Okay.
And talk a little bit too.
Thank you for the time today. Congratulations, Cartograph.